Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster Sal, live from the AAMP.TV mobile studios here in fabulous Las Vegas. That's AAMP.TV. This segment brought to you in part by Cali Vegas, helping people create and host their very own radio, TV, or multimedia talk shows. Cali Vegas can help them from getting out of sitting in traffic every day, which they may or not be doing, or being bored at your house because you're sequestered beyond your own will, and do something productive. Maybe have your very own talk show in your very own home studio. For more information, contact Cali Vegas at 949-445-1119. That's 949-445-1119. Or visit them online at calivegas.com. That's CALI Vegas.com. And welcome back to everybody listening in on Magic 97.9 FM right here in Las Vegas and our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates from coast to coast. And those watching on hotel television here with 2020 candidate for the presidential race, Robby Wells. Robby, thanks for joining us again. Welcome back.
It's great to be back. Thank you, Sal.
Yes, sir. All right. So, Robby, in our last segment, we were talking a little bit about some possibility of maybe somebody benefiting from this. Folks, let me rewind for a moment. Here's why we're talking about it. Major League Baseball has implemented made a bunch of suggestions for the league to actually take a look at, and let's say we want them to adhere. No spitting, no this, no high fives, no mascots, none of this stuff. Anyway, and so it also applies to football too. And Robby, being a national champion from the football world and a former coach, coached under Lou Holtz as well. And so we started talking a little bit about this and some of the player safety, but also talking a little bit more about why is this happening? Right. And so we have the possibility of this alleged virus that's out there. Everybody has to socially distance, wear these masks. And the mask, I got to tell you, Robby, they are not really good for people in the first place. From everything that I've read, they cut down on your circulation, your oxygen intake by 60%. The increase of carbon dioxide poisoning increases dramatically, and on we go. And people are dropping over left, right, and center. But let me ask you this, Robby. Look, as a presidential candidate, with all these rules in place, how would you handle this situation? What would you do to make this situation either more palatable? Would you do a deeper dive into investigation of who may be making a little bit of money or who stands to make money in this and addressing it that way? What would you tell the public?
Well, the first thing that we have to do is protect the people of the United States, period, point blank. Okay, we don't sugarcoat anything. We don't make it seem better than what it actually is. We tell the people exactly what is going to happen, not to panic, but here's some precautions that each and every one of us has to take. That's number one. That's the first thing we do. Second thing we do, and we've all seen this from these movies from the past. You remember the one with Dustin Hoffman when there was a pandemic? What they do is they came in and they actually quarantined the whole town or the city. I believe that we probably should have done that in the very get-go with what was going on up in New York, okay, and maybe in a few other places too. And the bad thing is you've got leadership that did not get a hold of this thing early enough. And I'm sorry, but they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. So here's what we could have done. Once you shut everything down, and you've got $2.2 trillion that you're getting ready to give out to everybody and give everybody $1,200. Why? Where did that number come from? Is it a number that just came out of thin air? Okay, because $1,200 will do literally nothing except maybe pay somebody's mortgage for 1 month. Well, what if this quarantine goes on for 2 or 3 months, which is what we're seeing? Now you've got 30 million people out of jobs. You've got people living homeless in every major cities, and that's on the rise. Listen, I saw it yesterday in Charlotte, North Carolina. An entire block has been roped off, and there's tents there. It's tent city in Charlotte, North Carolina right now because of this. So instead of giving everybody $1,200 and trying to make a quick fix, if I was president, what I would have done is I would have frozen all the loans and all the mortgages and said, okay, as long as this quarantine's going on, there's not going to be any bills. And then when the quarantine is lifted, we'll add everything onto the back of those loans. Okay. Then what we would do is we would come in and we would help with the public service, like the utilities. We'd make sure that that was paid for people because they don't have work right now. Okay. The only thing that we would really have to worry about besides the utilities is their food and making sure that is taken care of. Then instead of paying all this money out like they did, they just threw it away to these big businesses and giving everybody $1,200. What they could have done is they could have eliminated the $1.4 trillion in student loan debt that's out there right now. That could have been eliminated, and it should have been eliminated. That's just a couple of the things that I would have done.
Now, Robby, is that part of your Eaglenomics program? Is that one of the staples of your Eaglenomics program?
Absolutely, which is putting the people of the United States first and making sure that they are protected with a step-by-step common sense approach to what we've got to do to protect our future generations.
I would agree with that. And, you know, the funny thing is, even as we relate it, whether it's for the people in general, or we're talking about professional sports here, as we started with the top of the show, look, the world, our country, we need professional sports. We need baseball. We need football. We need basketball. We need hockey, because it's a reality break. It is a very big part of our worlds. And if we can't have these basic things, I mean, let's face it, baseball is America's game. Football is certainly America's game. I would argue, I don't know, and baseball and football, I would say a lot more people probably like football than baseball, but baseball is such a big part of our world. For how long? We need these things, and we can't have a curtailed version of it in our system, because all we're doing now is saying, look, reality as we know it has been affected so badly. Now there's nobody in the seats. There's cardboard cutouts watching games. There's no mascots. There's no fun. You can't go to the game. You can't be a human. You can't do what you do. And our worlds are upside down until that point ever returns. Robby, does it ever return? By the way, folks, we're here with Robby Wells, 2020 presidential candidate. Thanks for joining us, everybody, on our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates and Hotel Television. Go ahead, Robby.
Sal, I said in the very beginning when everything started getting shut down, I said, okay, what's the criteria for opening things back up? And I'm still waiting to see a uniform criteria for opening things back up across this country. You don't just shut everything down, okay? Because here's the thing, just as many people are going to die from the flu, from gun violence, from drunk drivers in this year. Basically the same amount right here in the United States. Now, I'm not taking anything away from the coronavirus. I'm not, okay, because it seems like this is a bad, but are we running scared and not standing up and saying, basically, there is no fear here? We are United States of America, and it is time for us to start acting like we are the United States of America, not a bunch of people that's going to hide up under a rock.
Right. And it's funny, here's a quote by the great Chaz Palminteri. Chaz Palminteri said, look, we've won 2 world wars. We print our own money. It's the greatest country in the world. But I got to tell you, Robby, in this case, the way that they've got us scared, they're not acting like this is the greatest country in the world. And we've got to get back to that thinking from the top all the way down to people like you and me. And you, I'm saying as a regular person, although you happen to be a presidential candidate on top of it.
Well, Sal, let me say this. I did suspend my campaign and postpone things because of this virus, because everything needed to play out. Everything was being shut down anyway. But now that things are being opened back up, I'm here to tell everyone across this country, okay? You deserve strong leadership that is going to do everything in his power to protect each and every one of you and protect our way of life. I am still on the ballot in Louisiana, okay? Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to Louisiana and I'm going to compete. And I'll be the only other person competing against Joe Biden. And when I go down there, if I win some delegates, that'll give me a voice at the convention, which is going to be held in August up in Milwaukee. And who knows?
Oh, and
Let's
by
say
the
Joe
way,
Biden
Robbie,
doesn't win all the delegates he needs. If he doesn't win all
by
the
the way,
delegates
Robbie,
he needs, huh?
I'm going to be at that convention as well. Believe it or not, me being from the red team, I'm going to be there. And guess who's going to be sitting right with me? You are going to be sitting right there with me. And we're going to do some live
Well, I'm telling
work.
you
And I
right
gotta tell
now,
you, you
crazier.
have a voice.
Listen, crazier things have happened, America. Crazier things have happened. But if we win some delegates and Joe Biden doesn't win enough on the first ballot, it becomes a free-for-all at that point. And then whoever has delegates, they have a chance to be the next nominee of the Democratic Party. And I'm telling you right now, I've been saying this for the past year and a half. There are some really good people that ran for president on the Democratic side, but I don't think any of them are tough enough to be the president of the United States. I don't think any of them are tough enough to go up against Donald Trump. I truly believe that I'm that guy that can do it.
All right. All right. We'll have to see where that goes now. I mean, I look at it this way, Robbie. Look, if he could get in and run things, and he did a pretty good job overall, I would say, outside of all this pandemic thing that as I see it, I think the economy was certainly going in the right direction, but I think that there's an agenda out there above and beyond him and above and beyond what most people really identify with. But maybe you could shed some light on that, and maybe you can help the situation. Listen, Robbie, we've got a couple of minutes left in the segment. I want you to tell everybody how to follow you, where they could get a hold of you, how they could support you, and so forth.
Well, it is an honor, Sal, to be on your show again and to be able to speak to the people across this country. And for everyone out there, you know, I pray for our country. I pray for you and your families, and I pray for your children and your grandchildren that we can get through this, and we can get through this together. We are going to be able to come through this, but the only way that we will do it is by uniting and coming together as one people. You take a group of people that come together, we can overcome anything, including a virus like this. So that's exactly what we've got to do. You can go to riseupwithrobby.com and check out what's going on with my campaign. You can also follow us on all Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. All those links are right there on the website. May God bless each and every one of you that are tuning in today. May God bless our military around the world. And may God please continue to bless these United States.
Well, folks, that's Robbie Wells. Make sure you check him out on all of his social media platforms. Check him out at his website. Robbie, thanks for joining us today here on the Circus. Always a pleasure having you. You're always welcome back anytime.
Thanks, Sal. Have a great day.
Yes, sir. All right, folks, that's going to do it for today. I'm your ringmaster, Sal, and we'll see you next time right here on the Sports Circus. So long, everyone.